What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, base of all ages, shapes, and sizes. Returning once again to the main man. Let's game it in, left, right, diagonal, and even out. I use trays to create absolute mayhem. My favorite kind of mayhem in Satisfactory. Oh yes, the sweet Satisfactory of causing Armageddon. Link in description. Give me kind of red item. Not sponsored by, but would love to be sponsored by one day. Chick-fil-A breakfast. You wanna have a good Friday? Make it the Chick-fil-A way. Bars. Let's go.
Hey there, it's Josh. Welcome back to Let's Game It Out. Welcome to Satisfactory, where everything in my base is a mess. And in this video, we're gonna try and make that better. Spoiler, we're gonna make it worse.
Yes!
While that's all cementing in your brain, let me tell you about today's sponsor. I've partnered with Paradox Interactive to highlight a hot deal coming up right now for City Skylines. So let me tell you the two things you need to know most. For one, you can play City Skylines right now for free, because from November 10th to the 14th over on Steam, it's free to download and try for yourself. And the other thing you need to know is this game is amazing for screwing around. And also building like functional, sprawling cities. I wouldn't personally know, unless you count what I'm doing here, where I'm changing a simple bridge into something a little more adventurous. Yeah, let's go with adventurous. Sorry, officer. I hope you don't have anywhere to be in a hurry. And in addition to this, we're also just trying to make people as unhappy as possible. And if we're lucky, a bunch of, quote, natural disasters will bless our city. Somebody call the fire department. Just kidding. I deleted all those. I mean, this is all kind of a form of city management, right? So if you're up for some city building or city unbuilding, maybe take a gander at the linky in the description, which will take you where you need to go to get started. So that's pretty much it. Super easy recommendation. I'm sure the game agrees with me that City Skylines is a blast. And thanks again to Paradox for sponsoring. So our first major thing we have to do is find a way to get all of these resources from this base, and we're gonna move it over here to something new. Specifically these beautiful floating platforms. I mean, look at all the lush landscape here.
Beautiful.
We've got platforms to put stuff, we've got waterfalls, and we've also got all kinds of flora to destroy. Who said you can grow in my new base? So don't worry, we have a tried and true solution for that. What do you think of this tree? Much better. And I haven't forgotten about you pesky leaves. Everybody gets a piece. But there's so much of this to take out. That's okay, I think I have a solution for how to take care of this stuff quickly. It's called explosives. First things first, we gotta do a quick test. I realize this doesn't seem like it'll pack a punch, but it should be enough to take care of this little old tree. Here goes nothing.
Oh, see, it worked.
Yep, that sure worked a treat, didn't it? Well, I think we know what needs to happen now. We gotta put these things all over the place. There's plenty to go around. You know, I kind of have to wonder, is this overkill for one plant?
No,
like, I could just walk up and do this to all of those. But who wants to do landscaping with their hands?
That's what
anyway, I'm sure that this will be enough. We've got explosives in pretty much everything. Too many? No such thing.
Exactly.
It's not just up here either. We've also rigged everything down
Dear
here.
God,
these
man,
trees are gonna be no match for all these explosives. Anyway, here goes nothing.
Break the game.
Yeah, take that, all you individual little bushes. Uh-oh, did I miss one? Just kidding. Oh, see, now this is what progress looks
chaotic.
like.
Oh,
by
yeah.
progress, we mean combusting everything.
Oh, yeah.
That'll about do it. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know, because it turns out some of this foliage is permanent, but that's okay. Anyway, now that we have all this emptied out space, it's time to bring our stuff over, starting with our desert base, because it's closer. And in case you're wondering, what are we going to do with all of these drones? Are we going to use them for beautiful transporting? And the answer is no. What I'm trying to say is this thing is like a monument now, so there's no way we're touching it. That, honestly, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. All you need to do is look to the sky, and there's drone waiting for you. So you're probably wondering, if not the drones, how are we going to transport all of this stuff? Because, oh boy, is there a lot. You know, like these things, and these things, and all of this stuff. But don't you worry, the solution is right in front of us. It's called a tractor. So versatile, so bulky, and we're going to use it to get over this ridge right here. And it's not going to be as easy as just hopping in and driving this thing over everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pretty good at handling some of this, but we can't possibly ask it to handle all of this, can we? Wait, or can we?
Or can we?
Easy. Just watch
Almost
your hand, buddy. Nope, I take it back. We are nice and stuck. And it's not like we can just start it even closer, because there's no way it's going to be able to traverse all this stuff. But that's okay, we're going to employ the use of another friend. Do you remember these?
Yeah!
Here's a refresher in case you don't remember. That's it, they launch you. But the one thing I don't know for sure is if we can use trucks on these. So let's give it a shot and find out. Here goes nothing. Oh, well, shiver me timbers, it does work. Well, this gives me an idea. If we can get it to bounce off one like that, then why not more? You get to set their overall trajectory.
Josh, no.
You can adjust that any way you want. So if I move this so that it's basically gonna land right here, and then I take another one and I place it here, so that whatever's flying off of this first pad will fly right into the air and then land on this one. And then will it bounce up and fly all the way over there? Only one way to find out. Here goes landing on one. All right, let's see if it lands on two. Oh my goodness, it sure does. Well, I'm sure we can see where this is gonna go. Right? All we need to do is put a bunch of these things all around over here so that they can get us up there. This shouldn't be hard at all. We can just build foundations and then put our little jump pads on these, positioning them in such a way so that we have a good place to put the next one. And then once that one's in position, we just go ahead and set up for the next one. We know where it's gonna land, and then so on and so forth. And okay, hold please.
Hours later, literally hours.
Okay, so I was working on these for a while, and oh boy, all the things I have to show for it. So many jump pads. I wish this jump pad business was an Olympic sport, because I would definitely get like bronze or like fourth place. Anyway, let me get to the starting point so you can experience the whole thing as it was meant to be experienced. So here's basically how it works. We get in this truck, and then we go down to this first jump pad. And once we do that, it bounces up to here, and then it goes up to here, and then this bounces you farther and farther, and you get the idea. Will this actually work?
Let's try it.
Way to find out. Let's go! Ah, mission successful on the first couple of bounces, leading up to these bounce pads that should propel us forward. And oh boy, do we have a journey ahead of us. But the good news is my horn works. Yeah. Well, got a little off kilter there. Of course, okay. As you can see, this is an exact science. What a lovely new way to experience all the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies of this base. Oh my god, it's going so well so far.
Oh, shit.
Well, that'll teach me to say anything. And attempt number 2. Much cleaner liftoff this time. I have high confidence. Look how we're landing on each one of those pads.
Yeah.
Whee! You know, and you can say what you want, but you sure can't beat these views. Looks like that's it for us. No, it's not. It only took 2 tries, but we made it up. Yep, the system is perfect. And before you know it, we're catapulting across these beautiful canyons. It couldn't be more simple, except for that one that I really didn't think we were gonna make. I would like to take this opportunity to mention that I cannot believe this is working at
swear,
all.
same. And there we go.
That's what I get for saying that.
Damn it.
Okay, attempt number 553. And then we bounce off the thing, and then it's like, oops, so it makes it after all. Things are going great. I don't know this for sure, but I think one of the challenges is, especially with a vehicle, it's not an exact science. But also, frame rate might play a role in that. But if there's one thing I can tell you, my frame rate is anything but stable. That doesn't mean I'm not confident we can eventually get this. Still going. This is the farthest we've ever, never mind. Oh my god, I think this might be the one. I think we might make it to the next section. Look at all these successful bounces. Life is beautiful. I set up all of these bounce pads, and for what? This moment, that's what. Look, the finish line. We can see it. Nail it, nail it. Oh my god, we're gonna do it.
Oh, damn. Oh, god. Oh, fuck. Nailed it!
Okay, so I think we can agree that this is not going according to plan.
Hell no.
And like you, I had a dream of trucks just flying fancy free through the sky.
Don't
I think this was probably never meant to be, and I'll show you why. I'm watching this thing from far away, and at a point, something seems to happen. Now, I know from back here, it looks like it's fine, right? Looks like it's just hanging out on something. Oh, but that's not the case. It's just frozen in midair. And then as we get closer to it, it just falls right out of the sky. Which leads me to believe that even if we got this working the way we would like it to, there's no way we can automate it, because if we step too far away from the trucks, they won't keep going. And we can't ride every truck to the end. Oh, but don't you worry, we've got a backup plan.
Oh, please tell me.
Before we move on, we gotta test one thing. We gotta test to see what happens when we launch one of these guys.
Lizard Doggo!
It's Lizard Doggo, guys! Hey, where are you going? I said, where are you going? Yes, run straight to the bounce pads.
Lizard Doggo!
Fly free, little guy. It's for science.
You already know. Rip Lizard Doggo in the comments down below. All my real ones already know. And you want to know the best part? I'm still getting Rip Lizard Doggos from the last time we were in Satisfactory. You guys are fucking real ones, and I love you for it. Rip Lizard Doggo in the comments down below. Hashtag Rip Lizard Doggo. Oh! Oh, fuck!
It's probably fine, right? Don't worry, I'm sure he's just sleeping all the way down this dune. In conclusion, it seems like it worked really well. Anyway, we still need a good solution for transporting all these materials, and I think this is going to be the solution. It's another train station. Station 25. We can do better than that. Let's see, I want to say sand and successful. Wait, stop right there.
Successful, yes!
Wait, still not done. Sand cesspool. Yay, we did it.
Nice.
We got there. So we've used trains before, not really to actually transport anything.
Terrible.
Back in our old base, we have a bunch of trains around right now. They're legitimately here solely to generate electricity, which causes these nuclear plants over here to actually work. Because if they have no reason to generate energy, they won't. And if they're not generating electricity, then they're not generating toxic waste. And if we're not taking steps to ruin every part of the environment, what's the point?
That's what I'm saying.
All that to say, back over at this base, we've never tried to use trains for good. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to build a bunch of rails, especially because where we're building them could use a little more beautifying, don't you think? I know I do. Oh boy, I'm so excited, especially because I know this will be easy to do and take no time at all.
Literally 2 hours later.
And connected. Well, that was easy. I'm kind of showing you the end first, but here we are at our station. Why am I like this? Or as I like to pronounce it, yummy, like this. So this thing here is where our trains will eventually end up. And by that I mean there are rails everywhere. Coming from the station, going over cliffsides, impossible loops that don't really make sense. And then, you know,
you can't be allowed to do this.
This part probably wasn't necessary to get the job done, but boy, it sure is
This is illegal.
And it doesn't really improve once we get to the God. You can kind of tell which ones for trains and which aren't, because the train ones are just a lot bigger. Either way, before we mess with these any further, let's head back to our starting platform and make sure this thing works at all. Now leaving station sand cesspool. The first part of this journey is real obvious and easy. We pick up great speed as we enter the big avalanche of stuff. I like to think of this as the world's weirdest roller coaster, full of twists and turns, clipping through the rock face entirely, and in general just a whole lot of completely unnecessary twists and turns.
It's working?
Really, what would the point be if it were straightforward?
2 more hours later.
And then before you know it, ta-da, track is complete. Excellent. Setting up this behemoth of rails and other crap only took a mere 4 hours. Good God. And the good news is I didn't know that this base could get any weirder looking, but it turns out there's always room to improve. So let's pretend you're this up-and-coming rail car just about to pull into the station. Now you can just keep going and have yourself the return journey of a lifetime, commingling with all these conveyor belts in the most claustrophobic way possible. Wow, what a palate cleanser. Honey, I'm home. Round trip only took 10 whole minutes. What a thrill ride. Now that the train tracks are all set, the next thing we need to do, we need to take all these materials here that are currently just waiting for something to happen to them, and we need to funnel them all the way back over to the train station. So first things first, I'm adding a freight platform, which if we come around to the other side, we can see that it's got ports for us to feed in the goods. That's where the supplies go to get on the train. So first we're going to build a bunch of these things. Snazzy giant containers. Now these two on the right are for receiving items. We're not going to need those because we're only sending stuff out from here, which means connecting this container over to this thingamabob here. And same with the bottom one for basically no reason. There we go. The conveyor belts are running and hungry for supplies. So basically previously we had all of these supplies funneled through one belt already, which is this one right here. Instead, we're going to run these supplies over to that container that we set up. There we go. Now supplies go in, and on the other side they pile out, conveniently going into our cargo thingamabob so that we can more easily transport everything. What a lovely system we've made for ourselves. Now the next step is we need to add a freight car, like that. That way the train's going to pull into the station, deliver to us some sweet cargo, and then off it goes for a magical journey. And it sure is hauling ass with that cargo. What a harrowing journey it must be going on. And then before you know it, here comes our bountiful cargo. Choo choo. Quickly use your grippy fingers to take that off my hands. And just like that, glorious supplies. And then the train starts its journey home to get another haul. Well, if one thingy of cargo is good, surely more is better, right? I mean, really, how many of these can we add? Because I'm just gonna keep going until it stops me.
Why exactly? Why?
So based on initial estimates, no, there is not a limit to how many train cars you can put on this thing. Like, it's kind of hard to see because it's just more cacophony in here. I mean, I just kept connecting and connecting them, and I think I've got like 146 before I gave up. Because there's a point where I want to keep adding them, but when you get too deep into this stuff, you just can't see anything. Nope. I guess let's see how this does. Hi-ho silver. All of this goodness slowly pulling into the station. And go ahead and load cargo container container number 1. Oopsie daisy, drop it a little forcefully, see if I care. And now moving on to the next one.
Oh my god!
Or not? Oh, okay. You're just gonna take the 1, huh?
That's
oh,
right.
Silly me. I didn't set up the station correctly. I selected 1 load and unload, not all of them like I was supposed to.
Fuck.
Well, it's still not stopping, but I think that's probably okay. And
Good.
you know, I kind of like the idea of using all of this freight, all for just 1 cargo container, followed by 8 bajillion empty ones. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I feel like this is the right way to do it. I mean, he's impressed.
What the fuck?
See? Really impressed. And honestly, so far so good. It's just slowly making its way downtown. Yeah, just
Walking
shove that
fast?
out of the way. It's of no concern to
Yeet.
you. It failed where you're succeeding. Come on, you
Come
can do
on,
it.
you
Push.
beautiful
Come on,
bastard.
pick up
Push.
some speed. Would these drones say no? I don't think so. They keep climbing. I don't care that you're pulling 8 bajillion cars behind you. I expect you to accomplish the impossible.
The power of gravity.
Oh, yeah, definitely the optimal way to be transporting goods. At 1/1,000,000th a mile an hour. Strike that 0. Are you telling me there were consequences to this? Well, this
What?
is stupid. Can't I, like, get behind it and push or something? Hey, wait a minute. This gives me an
No.
idea. I
No,
will
Josh.
just give it a little push
Oh.
with my own rail.
Damn it,
Okay, now
Josh.
remember,
Oh
all we
my
need
God.
to do is give it a little push. Watch
No.
out, help coming through.
Oh!
Oh, it would appear we've caused a minor derailment. I mean, most of it's still on the tracks, and the important part is the head of the train felt nothing at all, and is still not moving. What if I send another train in?
You
What's
fool!
the worst that could happen? Yep, went about as well as expected. Okay, you know what? I have kind of an idea. So
I
this
hate
is the
it.
thing
I already
that's
hate it.
stuck. There's got to be some way to move this, and I think I might have just
No!
the idea.
Don't you
Is
do
it
it!
possible that we can use jump pads for this?
No!
Let's go ahead and put a platform
That's not how you physics.
and a jump pad. And now with this thing ready to operate, all we need to do is give this a little push. This is going to be easy. So all I'm going to do is set up a rail that's going to go right into this train car. And in theory, if we hit it just right, it should roll back
What
onto this
theory?
bounce pad and do a little something like this. Couldn't be more simple. But to
Couldn't
give
be
this
more
rail some
fucked.
impact, we got to give it a really long running start. How long, you wonder? How
Yes.
about a little something like this? You know, something that goes up and up and up and up, and at the end
my
of it all, there's a train up here, just waiting for
It's a
liftoff.
little baby
We're
train.
so high up, in fact, that we're eye level with our hyper cannon.
The hyper
Also
cannon!
So high up that we're up here with the fog where the air is thinner. So the question is, once we get up there and pilot this interstellar craft, how fast do we think it's gonna go?
Yes.
Well, let's see. Down the hill we go.
Oh,
Okay, so currently
my
we're building
God.
speed, just rounding 200 kilometers an hour. Still climbing. Time to collide. But why? I was only going at the speed of light. Okay, what if we nudge it a little bit nicer?
Oh, fuck.
Well, that one down
Whoop,
there
you're
sure
broken.
felt it. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case that this thing can interact with the jump pad. But that doesn't mean I don't have some other ideas.
Oh,
Like if we put
fuck.
a ramp right here, what do we think will happen? Well, let's see.
Choo-choo, motherfucker!
Well, that was pretty good, but not all the way to the other station good. All right, I got one more idea. I don't know if this is gonna work, but
It
we
won't,
have to try.
but I love
Maybe
it.
what we need is to give it a nice little nudge. There we go. We built like a crappy
This
little tunnel. And if
motherfucker-
all goes according to plan, this thing will sail right inside it. Oh, how I love doing research with giant multi-ton death machines.
Yahoo,
Hey,
motherfucker!
look, it made it, even though we didn't. Well, that seems to have done the
That
trick.
did
And
something.
now we're gonna see if we can try something else. We're gonna run this rail right through it, and we're gonna see if we put a train down right here, if when we drive this thing, we can just nudge it.
Just a
And
little-
oh boy, we
little
sure can, kinda. I think you can probably see where this is going, right? That's right,
No.
we're gonna build a much larger tunnel than that.
No,
we're gonna
please.
drag it all the way there.
Oh
now,
my
we can't do it
God.
by hand because the thing has no cohesion. And we can't use the vehicles because that also doesn't work. So
Bruh.
train tracks it is. Ah, yeah, there it goes.
All right.
Just a quick nudge up an
No.
otherwise really long corridor. Easy. Come
my
on, we're just
God.
gonna keep on pushing
This
it.
is
Come
not
on,
right.
come on, come with me. That's right, keep on pushing. This is not how I thought this would work, but I'm
is not
sure
how this is
happy it
supposed to work.
is. And then before you know it, we're at the very end of the tracks, and off it goes.
Oh,
I'm sure it's Fine. Wow, look at that landing. That almost couldn't
Nailed
be
it.
more perfect. This is where it would have ended up anyway. Wait a minute, what the hell is this?
Lizard
How did you guys
doggos!
get in there? Oh, this simply
Hey!
won't do. Now look, I know the cargo basically made
Aw.
it here, but it looks like we've got some
No, wait.
cleaning up to
No,
do.
Lizard
Yeah,
doggo!
run
No!
for me.
Run,
So I hope
Lizard
you
doggos!
enjoyed what we did here. There's a
Run!
lot more to come, but we're gonna cap it for now. So I hope you had fun. I know I did, and I'm about to.
Lizard
Hey,
doggo,
now that you've got
no!
some free time, why don't you go check out City Skylines? You can check it out for free right now. That is, if it's between November 10th and the 14th, 2022. Hey, you never know. Just go look it up on Steam. Maybe it's on sale right now. You don't know. Anyway, stay tuned for more Satisfactory, and I'll see you next time.
Doggos!
Get over here.
Ah! Well, that's gonna do it for this one, ladies and gentle gents. The power of Lizard Doggo has returned to us with some of that sweet, succulent, satisfactory goodness. Let's give it out, giving us more of the craziness that we need in order to have a fantastic life. Link in the description, of course, to the main man. But if you enjoyed this video with your boy, take your beast mode collage of awesomeness juice. Go ahead and slap that like button. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, peace. So I'll let you say it sizes. Love, peace, and above all, yeah, stay beast mode for the epic win of all the Winskis a la Penskis. Oh.